right? Ahad, meaning the one.
Blog Talk Radio. Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please hold and you will be able to listen to the show.
Lift up ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is this King of glory? The Lord strong and mighty, the Lord mighty in battle. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, even lift them up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is this King of glory? The Lord of hosts. He is the King of glory. Selah, 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 Selah.
Kadamawi, Kadamawi.
The whole place is due for
Yes. Greetings. Shavua Tov, Rastafari Israelites. Yes, side. So Psalm 24 here, Queen Makeda with clean hands. Niki Kapayim, Ubar Lebab, clean hands from Psalm 24. Right here in the English and in the Hebrew. Queen Makeda, clean hands. First day Psalm 24.
You belong the earth and all fullness. He made the world and all inhabitants. Who can ascend to his holy mountain? He who has clean hands and a pure heart. Neki Kapayim Uvar Levav. Neki Kapayim Uvar Levav. You have clean hands and a pure heart. You have clean hands and a pure heart. Yahweh Ha'aret Umilo Tepen Pe Yoshvei Ba Kihu Ayamim Yishana Be'al Harot Yechonenecha Niya Alei Behar Nehariya Hey Neki Kapayim Uvar Levav. Neki Kapayim Uvar Levav. You have clean hands and a pure heart. Hey, you have clean hands and a pure heart. Who can ascend to his holy mountain? Who can stand in his holy place? He who has clean hands and a pure heart. Who can ascend to his holy mountain? Who can stand in his holy place? He who has clean hands and a pure heart. Neki Kapayim Uvar Levav. Neki Ikapayim Ubar Levan. You have clean hands and a pure heart. Hey, you have clean hands and a pure heart. Who can ascend to his holy mountain? Who can stand in his holy place? He who has clean hands and a pure heart. Levan. Who can ascend to his holy mountain? Who can stand in his holy place? He who has clean hands and a pure heart.
Niki Kapayim, Ubar Lebab, Niki Kapayim, clean hands, Ubar Lebab, and a purifying the hearts right there, Queen Makeda with Psalm 24 right there, focusing on the clean hands, pure heart, part of that psalm, the first day psalm. So here's another Hebrew before we ride out for 6th and 7th, Aliyot here on the first day service for the Shabbat Tezahwa. And here, this is from Ayala in Gedashet, one of our Beta Israeli peoples. Here, this is to move, lanua, to move, based on Ecclesiastes, Kohelet the preacher, based on Ecclesiastes chapter 3, the time and the season. La kol zemana ve'eita lekol chefetza tachat hashemayim. That's how that Ecclesiastes chapter 3, to everything there's a season, or to all, literally in the Hebrew, to all a season and a purpose. Slika. To all, a season and a time to every purpose. So the KJV has to everything there is. You see in the KJV Bibles, if you take a look, Ecclesiastes 3:1, thing there is. The word thing, there, and is italicized. Those words don't appear in the Hebrew as the Hebrew reads. Lakol zeman, lakol, call, all in the Hebrew, lakol, for all or for the all, zeman. Zeman is a season. So for all, a season, the we're eight. You're going to hear that in this tune right here by Yalla and Gedashet. We're eight. The 8 is for like a time. We're 8. Lekol for all, chefet. Now, chefet is an interesting word because often it's translated as, like, what is it, purpose? They say purpose, like, yeah, and a time, all right, for all, but actually, and a time for all desire. The word chefet, or chefet, have you emphasize it, chefet, but hefetz is a delight, a pleasure, a delight, a pleasure, a desire, in a sense, like a concrete sense of anything that's valuable. But it's also like a matter, like something that's in mind, something that's acceptable, something that's delightful, right? Bringing out that sense of purpose, right? And a time for every desire, so to speak. We're 8, lekol, chesed, tachat, under ha-shamayim, tachat ha-shamayim. Lakol zemana, we're 8, lekol, chesed, tachat ha-shamayim. So in the tune, since it's mainly in the Hebrew, just to bring this out so when you kind of can pick up on some of these words. For example, in Ecclesiastes, Kohelet, Ecclesiastes 3:2, verse 2, it says, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. Now, again, in the KJV, the words in Ecclesiastes 3 and 2 that read that which is not really there. So the force of the Hebrew, and a time to pluck up, planted, to pluck up the planted. In other words, eight la ledet, eight la ledet, eight, a time la ledet, ledet. We say, when we say lidet, right? We say lidet or ledet, to be born, eight la ledet, the eight or eight la mut, and the eight and the time la mut, la for the mut, for the death. Eight la ta'at, eight la ta'at, all right, eight la ta'at. So the ta'at, the plant, like to pluck, like to plant, ta'at, to plant, with eight, and a time, la akor, to pluck up, la akor, natua. So that which is la ta'at, that which is like planted at this proper season. Also check out the season, reasons for the season. We have Purim. Purim is coming forward, you know, in this season right here, and always signals that Pesach, right, is right around the corner as we pass through what some might look at as astrotheologically, you know, the valley of the shadow of death during the winter moons, so to speak. So here we're coming up, right, here in the season. So Purim, the season. So here, Eita la ledeta we Eita la muta, Eita la ta'ata we Eita la ikora natua. So a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted. Here for 3 for 3, Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 3, where the KJV reads, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up. So there's an eight la herog, a time to kill, right? A time to kill, la herog, kill, not so much murder, but to kill. Eight la herog were eight lirpo, to repo, to heal, lirpo, to heal. Eight nifrots, like to farat something, to perek something, to break it down. Eight, there's a time, lifrot, were eight, and eight, the eight, leave note, li benot, to bana, to build. So right here, ayala in Gedashet with to move, based on the first couple of verses in Ecclesiastes, Kohelet chapter 3, Lanua, move. There's an eight.
את ללדת ואת למות, את לטעם ואת לקור, את להרוג ואת לרפוא, את לפרוץ ואת לבנות, בזמן המתאים ברגע הנכון יש פתרון. בזמן המתאים ברגע הנכון יש פתרון. לאבד את לשמור ואת להשלים את לקרוע ואת לתפור את לחשוב ואת לדבר בזמן המתאים ברגע הנכון יש פתרון בזמן המתאים ברגע הנכון יש פתרון תמיד להשתת המון, תמיד לנורא תן לשלוש ותן ללב ולהתפתח וגם אם זה קורה תמיד לנורא
Yes, Ayala and Gedashet, right here. Lion of Judah, the Lion of Judah in Hebrew. Let's hear that a little bit right here. Not the Lion of Judah chant, but concerning the Lion of Judah right here is job command. And we're going to continue with the 6th and 7th aliyot here for Ttzaweh, the I, male, shall command right here.
Yeah, man, massive. Ah, the lion them. The lion of Judah.
Pause. Aryeh. Lion Mi Yehuda from Judah, from the praise celebrated one. Aryeh Mi Yehuda. Yehuda Moa Andesa. Aryeh Mi Yehuda. Stop, come on.
Yeah, man, massive. Ah, the lion them. The lion
אריה מיהודה, תצוה שם זו דרכך, את הימים קשה לפעול, לא תביט שוב לאחור. אריה מיהודה, אל תשכח אהבתך, כי הכל עוד יעבור, ולחופש שוב תחזור. אריה אהוב, אריה כאוב, סגור שבור בתוך הכלוב, ליבו צמא לאור חמה, ובו זועקת הנשמה, רגיל לחופש ולדרוש, אחרי גופו יש מעצור, צורת בריח בפניו, וגם העצובים ימיו. אריה מיהודה, תצוה שם זו דרכך, את הימים קשה לפעול, לא תביט שוב לאחור. אריה מיהודה, אל תשכח אהבתך, כי הכל עוד יעבור, ולחופש שוב תחזור, ולחופש שוב תחזור, שוב תחזור. אריה מיהודה, תגיד לי מה פה השתנה, זורם בך אותו אדם, האם לבך פתאום נדם, לומד מהרעות אחרי שנעקה, וואי אוי, ומשלם מחיר כבד, שהוא לא בשבילך. המחר לא נגמר, לעולם לא מאוחר, כל עוד אתה כאן אתה ממשיך ואתה שר, זה לא נגמר, אף כמה לא מאושר, אבל בדרך עדיין שר. אריה מיהודה, דף בשם זו דרכך, את הימים קשה לספור, לא תביט שוב לאחור. אריה מיהודה, אל תשכח אהבתך, כי הכל עוד יעבור, ולחופש הוא תחזור, דף בשם מציון אתה, ויהודה ישועתך, היסורים הם לא לנצח, יבוא היום יהיה עוד בטח, געגועים לחירותך, מרבה כניעה, קבל הכל באהבה, כי אין לך ברירה. אריה מיהודה, דף בשם זו דרכך, את הימים קשה לספור, לא תביט שוב לאחור. אריה מיהודה, אל תשכח אהבתך, כי הכל עוד יעבור, ולחופש הוא תחזור.
Shall break every chain. The Lion of Judah shall break every chain. Lion of Judah shall break every chain. Give us some victory again and again. The conquering lion. Yeah, open now, yeah. I said, behold, the King is alive and well. Don't tell Israel, oh, the Lion of Judah. And for the highest, the light and mighty bird. Oh, yes, knock out now. These are the ways of righteousness, but the wages of sin is death. Those who know the earth is innocent, he's not red. But the guilty have been scared and worried. But in the sun, I know they will see. Ethiopia is his country. Oh, what happened tonight is no partiality. Oh, the Lion of Judah. I said, behold, the King is alive and well. Look how he's better. Oh, the Lion of Judah. And for the highest, the light, the highest bird, the bird, the bird, the bird. And in his man who can hide from what he created in his time. No foe is mighty as
Behold, the Lion of Judah. I said, behold, the King is alive and well. So tell his better. Behold, the Lion of Judah. That's not a hiding killer, hiding blood. Oh yes, I know, wait up. Loving and loving, who can hide from what he created in his time? So both is mighty and majesty. Some will go running, I will find what's praying over me. My God says that I'm free. Oh, the Lion of Judah. I say, behold, Germany is alive and well. Because it will. Oh, the Lion of Judah. That's my life, the life is ready for. Oh, well, now, yeah. Oh, the Lion of Judah. I say, behold, Germany is alive and well. Yes, my God.
In Ethiopian life, the imperial ruler is likened in splendor to the sun, splendor to the sun, splendor to the sun, in exalted power to the lion, to the lion, to the lion, in his divine being to the kings of Israel, divine being to the kings of Israel, and to the kings of Israel, and to the kings of Israel, and at times to God, and at times to God, and at times to God himself.
Are ye not as children of the Ethiopians unto me, O children of Israel, O children of Israel? Are ye not as children of the Ethiopians? Are ye not as children of the children of the Ethiop? Are ye not as children of the Ethiopians unto me, O children of Israel, saith the Lord?
Conscious sound. Don't be afraid, grow your strength and touch on the ground. Remember your answer. We up on your instead of us now. Long time me take the men as a rainbow. We up on your instead of us now. Long time me take the men as a rainbow. The first time me know say Rastafari legit is when me take a little bit in a Numbers chapter 6. Me read Revelation, I was astonished to know the mark of the beast that is 666. Me check Samson and Jack the Baptist. Them blow them not the jet, make it long like with. Oh, me start to grow for me dread some more when me start read Ezekiel 44. So me not bound, me not your Rastafari snow. Long time me take for me not a rainbow. Me not bound, me not your Rastafari snow. Long time me take for me not a rainbow. Some people are spread propaganda up not here is a sin, but me challenge anyone. I mean know them can't win cause they need it. Them show me the Bible say man figure to make it them scissors and cover make them cut off everything. Cause me not bound, me not your Rastafari snow. Long time me take for me not a rainbow. Me not bound, me not your Rastafari snow. Long time me take for me not a rainbow. You know one thing me used to hear when me a teenager. I man used to live with me grandfather. Every weekend come and give me $100. And I tell me about he must go to the barber. But when me say this is that, I may see the razor me. I may think the man going to commit murder. Why me inborn concept of some long ear guy. We not stop live a lie, but you can't use them fast day. But you want to break up. I example. For the most line, I and I is a true born Rastafari. So we don't power, we don't go Rastafari. No, long time me take. We made us a rainbow. We don't power, we don't go Rastafari. No, long time me take. We made us a rainbow. If you take the fullness and you want to grow, you lost a little just no bother watch nothing fit try make you stop. You say that you antenna and that you can just up on your sign that the agreement you can't turn back. So we don't bow, we don't go Rastafari. No, long time we take. We win as a rainbow. We don't bow, we don't go Rastafari. No, long time we take. We win as a rainbow. One time them used to one like this.
ሶስተኛ በዕለተ እሑድ የሚባል said on Sundays, the first day. ጽድቅን የሠራ ሰንበትና ያከበረም ሰው ሁሉ ጻድቅ ነው። ወደ እግዚአብሔር አምልኮት የገባ ከምእመናን ይለየኝ የሆነ ፈጽሞ አይበል። ጽድቅን የሠራ ሰንበትን ያከበረም ሰው ሁሉ ጻድቅ ነው። Blessed is he who does truth and honors the Sabbath. Let him not question whether he would be outcast from the multitudes if he was to enter into the worship of the sustainer Rastafari. Blessed is he who does truth, righteousness, and honors the Sabbath, the Sabbath.
Let them message, Jaja. Rastafari, King of all kings, Lord of all lords, conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah. Elect of himself, mighty and times the rebel exhibit massacre and Yahweh the goose and the God let shall be praised.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. In the beginning, Jah created the heaven and the earth. Then created man of his own likeness. Gave unto man wisdom, knowledge, and understanding.
Shavua Tov, Shavua Tov, Shavua Tawab, Shavua Tov, Shavua, referring to the week, or more correctly, like the 7 days, 7 days, 7 days, 7 days, 7 days, 7.
Yibelu Hizb, and the people shall say, Hallelujah. በቅዳሴ ጊዜ ከምእመናን ወገን ወደ ቤተ ክርስቲያን የገባ ሰው ቢኖር ቅዱሳት መጻሕፍትን ሳይሰማ የቅዳሴው ጸሎት እስኪፈጸም ባይታገስ ከቁርባኑም ባይቀበል ከቤተ ክርስቲያን ይለይ፣ የእግዚአብሔርን ሕግ አፍርሷልና። የስጋና የነፍስ ፈጣሪ ማለት የስጋና የነፍስ ንጉስ በሚሆን በሰማያዊ ንጉስ ፊት መቆምንም ቃልዋልና። ሐዋርያት በሲኖዶሳቸው እንዲህ ብሎ አስተምረውናል። Hallelujah. If there be any one of the faithful that hath entered the church at the time of the Kedasse, at the time of the liturgy, and hath not heard the Holy Scriptures, and hath not waited until they finish the prayer of the Kedasse, the prayer of the liturgy, and hath not received the Holy Communion, make him be driven out of the church, for he hath violated the law of Egziaver, of the sustain of the good Father, Yahweh, and disdained to stand before the heavenly King, the King of the body and spirit. This the apostles have taught us in their canons.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Adonai Echad, Adonai Echad.
And here, Shema Yisrael, here, Yisrael, here for the Sheishi Aliyah, here for the 6th reading, the 6th Aliyah, the 6th offering up, the 6th Aliyah, the 6th ascension, here for this Shabbat is our Sabbath, thou shalt command, thou male shall command. Shabbat is our. Here picking up from the 2nd book of Moshe, the Hebrew book that's called Exodus. Here from the Sefer Shemot, Exodus chapter 29, verse 38, for the Sheishi Aliyah, for the 6th reading, the 6th Aliyah, the 6th offering up, 6th ascension offering for this Shabbat. Shabbat is our Sabbath command, Sabbath thou, I, male, shall command. וזה אשר תעשה על המזבח, כבשים בני שנה שנעים ליום תמיד. The continual burnt offering. Now this, which thou shalt offer upon the altar, 2 lambs of the first year, day by day, continually. וזה אשר תעשה על המזבח, כבשים בני שנה שנעים ליום תמיד. Now this, וזה, which that, and this, with that, Asha is that. Now this and this is that. Thou shalt offer, thou shalt do, with that Asha is that, al ha mizbeah. And this is that thou, the I shall do, shall offer, is al ha mizbeah, upon the mizbeah, upon the altar. Kavasim, Shane, Shana, Shanaim, 2 lambs. Kavasim, Kabasim, 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 Shane, Shana, Shanaim, 2 lambs of the first year. Layom Tamid, for the day, daily, for the day, daily, continually, Tamid, Layom Tamid. With that, Asha Ta'isa al Hamizbeah, Kavasim Shnei Shana Shnaim, Layom Tamid. The one lamb thou shalt offer in the morning in the boker, and the other lamb thou the I shall offer at even. And with the one lamb, a 10th deal of flour mingled with the 4th part of an hin of beaten oil, and the 4th part of an hin of wine, or a drink offering. And the other lamb thou shalt offer at evening, and shalt do thereto according to the meat offering, according to the meal offering of the boker of the morning, and according to the drink offering thereof, for a sweet savor. An offering made by fire, to Jehovah. Nisikaha ta'ise laha le reyach niyahoah ishe la Yahuwah. This shall be a continual burnt offering throughout your generations. The door of the tabernacle of the congregation before Jehovah, where I will meet you to speak there to thee. Olata tamida le dorotekem etach ohela moeda lifnei Yahuwah asher iya wa aida lakem shama le daber eleka sham. It shall be a continual burnt offering throughout your generation. Ola tatami, a continual ascension offering. Ola tatami dale dorotekem, throughout dorotekem, y'all generation. Petach, door, at the door, petach, at the petach, ohela moeda lifnei Yahuwah, at the petach, at the door of the tent of meeting. Petach ohel moed lifnei Yahuwah, before Jehovah, lifnei Yahuwah, asher iyawaeda lakem, where I will meet with you all. Asher iwaed, asher iwaeda lakem, shama veya shama le daber eleka, sham, to speak there to thee, and there I will meet with the children of Israel, the children of Israel, the Bnei Yisrael, and shall be sanctified by my glory. With no'adati shama livnei Yisrael, with nikdash dia kovodi, and there I will meet with the children of Israel, and there with no'adati shama livnei Yisrael, and shall be sanctified by my glory with nikdash be Kovodi, Wenikadash, be Kovodi, sanctified by Kovodi, my glory. And I will sanctify the tabernacle, congregation, the tent of meeting, and the altar, Hamizbeah. I will sanctify also both Aaron and his sons to minister to me, to I, in the priest's office. With Kidashtia Esta or Hela Moed, with Esta HaMizbeah, with Esta Ahiron, with Esta Banayo, Ikadesha, Likahain Li, and I will sanctify the tent of meeting. I will sanctify the tent of meeting with Kidashtia Eto Hebla Moed, and the altar with Eta HaMizbeah. Aaron also and his sons will I sanctify. With Eta Ahirona, with Eta Banayo, Ikadesh, Kahain Li, to minister to I in the priest's office. Kahain Li, and I will dwell among the children of Israel, and will be their God, and will be their Elohim. With Shachantia B'Poch B'nei Yisrael, with Hayitia Lahem Al Elohim, and I will dwell with Shakanti B'Poch, and I will dwell amongst B'nei Yisrael, the sons, the children, the sons of Yisrael, with Hayiti Lahem Al Elohim, and will be their Elohim. Hayiti Lahem Al Elohim, and they shall know that I be he who be their Elohim, that brought them forth out of the land of Mitzrayim, that I may dwell among them. I, he who be their Elohim. With Yad'u, the Yad'u, Ki Ani Yehovah, Elohim Asher Hotzeti Otama Me Eretz Mitzrayim, Shakni B'Tokam Ani Yehovah Elohim, and they shall know. With Yad'u, the Yad'u, and they shall know. With Yad'u, Ki Ani Yehovah Elohim, and they shall know that I be he who be their Elohim. With Yad'u, Ki Ani Elohim Asher Hotzeti Otam Me Eretz Mitzrayim, that I be he who be their Elohim, who brought them forth out of the land of Mitzrayim. With Yad'u, Ki Ani Yehovah Elohim Asher Hotzeti Otam Me Eretz Mitzrayim, that I may dwell among them. Shakani B'Tokam, that I may Shakani V'Tokam Ani Yehovah Elohim, I be he who be their Elohim. And here, Shema Yisrael, here, Reveal Yisrael, here for the Shavi, here for the Shavi, here for the seventh Aliyah, the seventh reading, seventh up offering, seventh Aliyah, ascension offering for this Shabbat is our Sabbath, thou shall command. Here picking up with the second book of Moshe, the Hebrew book that's called Exodus chapter 13. The tabernacle, Hamishkan, the 18th item, the altar of incense, the altar of Ishens, the great worship chapter, Here, Shema Yisrael, here from the Sefer Shemot. We'asita Mizbeach Nikatara Ketoreta Itzeya Shikim Ta'ise Auto. And thou, the eye, shall make an altar to burn to burn incense, to burn incense upon. Shittim wood shalt thou make it. Ve'asita mizbeach miktar ketoret itzei shittim ba'isa oto. With asita and the eye male shall make with asita mizbeach an altar mikatara ketoreta to burn mikatar ketoret aishans mikatara ketoret. It's a shittim of acacia wood, shittim wood. It's a shittim acacia wood. Ta is said, auto thou shalt make it. Ta is said, the eye shall make auto shall make it. A cubit shall be the length thereof, and a cubit the breadth thereof. 4 square shall it be, and 2 cubits the height thereof. The horn thereof shall be of the same, and thou the eye shalt overlay it with pure gold, the top thereof, and the sides thereof round about, and the horn thereof, and thou shalt make to it a crown of gold round about, and 2 golden rings shalt thou make to it under the crown of it, by the 2 corners thereof, upon the 2 sides of it shalt thou make, and they shall be for the places for the staves, to bear it withal. And thou shalt make the staves shittim wood. It's a shittim of acacia wood, and overlay them with zahav, with gold. And thou shalt put it before the veil that by the ark of the testimony, by the Aron HaEdut, before the mercy seat, over the testimony, where I will meet with thee, and Aaron shall burn thereon sweet incense, sweet ice every morning. When he dresseth the lamb, he shall burn incense upon it. And here, Israel, here for the Maskir, for this Shabbat is our Sabbath thou, male shall command. Here picking up with the second book of Moses, the Hebrew book called Exodus chapter 30, here at verse 8, for the Maskir, for Shabbat is our. Or the Ha'ilota, Ahirona eta Ha-Nerota, Ben Ha-Arba'i. Yakatirena itoreta tami lifnei Yehovah lidorotekem. And when Aharon lighteth the lamps at evening, he shall burn incense, he shall burn incense upon it. A perpetual incense, a perpetual incense before Yahuwah, before Jehovah, throughout your generations. Uve ha'ilot, Aharon, Etta ha'nerot, ben ha'arba'i. And when Aharon lighteth the lamps at dusk, at evening, Uve ha'ilot, Aharon, et ha'nerot, ben ha'arba'i. He shall burn it. Yakatirena, a perpetual incense, Ketoreta Tami, and always an continual incense, Ketoreta Tami, Lifnei Yehovah, before Jehovah, Lifnei Yehovah, Lidorotekem, throughout your generations. Ye all shall offer no strange incense, no strange incense thereon, nor burnt sacrifice, nor meat offering, nor meal offering. Neither shall y'all pour drink offering thereon, neither shall y'all pour libations thereon. Lo ta'illu alayowa ketoreta Zara, ye all shall offer no strange Zara incense thereon. Lo ta'illu la yowa ketoreta Zara with Allah nor olah, nor burnt offering, nor ascension offering, olah, mincha, minka, or a minka, or a meal offering, with nesek, the nesek, nor drink offering, nor libation offering, with neseka lo, tisaku alayo, thereon. And Aaron shall make an atonement upon the horns of it once in a year with the blood of the sin offering of atonement. Once in the Shana, once in the year shall he make atonement upon it throughout your generation. It's most holy to Jehovah. With Kiper Ahiron Allah Karanotayo Achat Bashana Midam Chatat HaKipurim Achat Bashana Yikaper Alayo Le Dorotekem Kodesha Kodashim Hu La Yahuwah. And Aaron shall make atonement upon the horns of it once in the year. With Kiper Aaron al Karnotayo Achata Bashana, with the blood of the sin, the Asri offering of atonement, Midam, Chatat, Ha Kippurim, Achata Bashana, once in the year shall he make atonement for it. Yikaper Alayo, throughout your generation. Le Dorotekem, it is most holy. Kodesh Kodashi, it is Kodesh Kodashi. It is holy of holies, Isla of islands, set apart. Kodesh Kodashim, who? He, it is Kodesh Kodashim. Kodesh Kodashim, who? La Yahuwah, La We're here to fulfill the Torah Aliyot, the 7th Aliyot for this Shabbat. Shabbat is our Sabbath. Thou male shall command. Kabur l'kalu, kabur dimsu, kabur l'chaylu, glory be to the word, glory be to the sound, glory be to the power, kabur l'abinu, l'melkeinu, glory be to Ainai Father, glory be to Ainai King, kabur l'kidamawi, Chayla Selassie, glory be to the first power of the Trinity, B'Shem Yeshua, HaMoshiach, in the name of Yeshua, the Messiah, the Get Tachna, the Hanatachin, the Jesus Christos sin.
Stay tuned for the Haftarah and the Brita Hadasha Aliyot.
Like shalom, my brother, shalom, master, shalom, shalom. I give you love, I give you peace, shalom. Shalom, shalom, my brother, shalom, master, shalom, shalom. I give you love, I give you peace, shalom, shalom. That's mine.
Rastafari.
After the reading of a section of HaTorah, the law, the following baraka, the following blessing is said. Baruch atah Yahuwah Eloheinu melech ha'olam. Blessed art thou, he who he be, Adonai Elohim, true good, true God, King of the universe, universal King, who has given us the law, HaTorah, of truth, and has planted everlasting life in our midst. Baruch atah Yahuwah noten HaTorah. Blessed art thou, Adonai, who givest I and I the Torah, the directions, the instructions. Shalom. Wa'imru. Amen.
Is the law. Don't you know? Rastafari is the law. Baruch atah Adonai.
Rastafari. Rastafari.
Baruch atah Yahweh, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, vayei olam natei, vatokanu. Baruch atah Yahweh, noten haTorah. Shalom.
The law. Don't you know? Rastafari is the law. Rastafari is the law. Oh no. Rastafari is the law.
Stay tuned for the Haftarah and the Brita Hadasha Aliyot.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nebiim tobim v'ratzah b'debreihem hane'amarim ba'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'torah u'Moshe abdo u'be'Israel ammo u'b'nebiei ha'emet wa'tzedek. Blessed art thou, Adonai, Eloheinu, eternal King, who has chosen good prophets and was pleased with their words that were uttered with truth. Blessed art thou, Adonai, who chooses the Torah and Moses, his servant, and Israel, his people, and the prophets of truth and righteousness.
Hear, O Israel. Hear, O Israel.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Book of Ezekiel, chapter 43, verses 10
to 27. Besema Abwa Walet Mepeta Kadus, Ahadum La. Thou son of man, show the house to the house of Yisrael, that they may be ashamed of their iniquities, and let them measure the pattern. And if they be ashamed of all that they have done, shew them form of the house, and the fashion thereof, and the going out thereof, and the coming in thereof, and all the forms thereof, and all the ordinances thereof, and all the forms thereof, and all the laws thereof, and write it in their sight, that they may keep the whole form thereof, and all the ordinances thereof, and do them. This is the law of the house upon the top of the mountain, Harara. The whole limit thereof round about shall be most holy. Behold, this is the law of the house, and these are the measures of the altar after the cubit. The cubit is a cubit in the handbreadth. Even the bottom shall be a cubit, in the breadth a cubit, and the border thereof by the edge thereof round about shall be a span. And this shall be the higher place of the altar. And from the bottom upon the ground even to the lower settle shall be 2 cubits, and the breadth 1 cubit. And from the lesser settle even to the greater settle shall be 4 cubits, and the breadth 1 cubit. So the altar shall be 4 cubits, and from the altar and upward shall be 4 horns. And the altar shall be 12 cubits long, 12 broad, square in the 4 squares thereof. And the settle shall be 14 cubits long and 14 broad in the 4 squares thereof. And the border about it shall be half a cubit, and the bottom thereof shall be a cubit about, and his stairs shall look towards the east. And he said to me, Son of man, thus saith the sovereign Yahweh Jwrusalem, these are the ordinances of the altar, and the day when they shall make it, to offer burnt offerings thereon, and to sprinkle blood thereon. And thou shalt give the priests, the Levites, that be of the seed of Zadok, which approach to me, to minister to me, saith the sovereign Yahweh Jwrusalem, a young bullock for a sin offering. And thou shalt take the blood thereof, and put it on the 4 horns of it, and on the 4 corners of the settle, and upon the border round about. Thus shalt thou cleanse and purge it. Thou shalt take the bullock also of the sin offering, and he shall burn it in the appointed place of the house without the sanctuary. And on the 2nd day thou shalt offer a kid of the goats without blemish for a sin offering, and they shall cleanse the altar as they did cleanse it with the bullock. When thou hast made an end of cleansing it, thou shalt offer a young bullock without blemish, and a ram out of the flock without blemish. And thou shalt offer them before Yahweh, Nifnei Yahweh, and the priest shall cast salt upon them, and they shall offer them up for a burnt offering to Yahweh. 7 days shalt thou prepare every day a goat for a sin offering. They shall also prepare a young bullock and a ram out of the flock without blemish. 7 days shall they purge the altar and purify it, and they shall consecrate themselves. And when these days are expired, it shall be that upon the 8th day, and so forward, the priest shall make your burnt offerings upon the altar, and your peace offerings, and I will accept you, saith the sovereign Yahweh. Amen. Moa and Bessaza and Negere Yehuda Ja Rastafari Between Bitachin and Hadatachin Yeshua HaMoshiach. Amen.
Let my prayer be set forth before thee as incense, and the lifting up of my hands as the evening sacrifice. 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 Let my prayer be set forth before thee as incense. For 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 thee. Let my prayer be set forth before thee as incense. As incense. Before thee as incense. As incense. as incense, as incense, as incense, as incense, as incense, and the lifting up of my hands as the evening sacrifice, the evening sacrifice, evening sacrifice, before thee as incense, before thee as incense, before thee as incense.
Stay tuned for the Haftarah and the Brita Chadash Aliyot. Aliyot. Aliyot.
Father, and Son, Father, and Son, Father, and Son, Father, and Son.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam. Asher natan lanu Moshiach Yeshua ve'habarut shel habarit ha-hadasha. Baruch atah Adonai notain habarit ha-hadasha. Blessed are you, Lord, our God, King of the universe, who gave to us the Messiah, Jesus, and the commandments of the new covenant. Blessed are you, Lord, giver of the new covenant.
Hear, O Israel. Hear, O Israel.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
The Brit Chadasha Chadis Kidan Renewed Covenant reading for RSS number 20. Ttzaweh, you shall command. From the Epistle to the Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 10 through 17. We begin B'Shem Ha'ab Ve'Habein Ve'Ruach HaKadosh Yahuwah Ahad. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, he who he be, the one. Hebrews, chapter 13. Christian separation and worship. Verse 10, Yod. Verse 11, Yod Aleph. Verse 12, Yod Beit. Yesh lanu mizbeach asher ein lahem reshut limsharate hamishkan le'akol me'alayu ki habehemot asher hubad daman bakodesh lekaparat haket al yedei hakohen hagadol uyotehen nisharfu michutz lamachane בעבור זאת גם ישוע אונה מחוץ לשער למען קדש את העם בדמו. We have an altar whereof they have no right to eat, which serve the tabernacle. For the bodies of those beasts whose blood is brought into the sanctuary by the high priest for sin are burnt without the camp. Wherefore, Yeshua, Jesus, also that he might sanctify the people with his own blood, suffered without the gate. Let us go forth, therefore, to him without the camp, bearing his reproach. For here we have no continuing city, but we seek one to come. The believer priest sacrifice. By him, therefore, let us offer the sacrifice of praise to Elohim continually. That is, the fruit of our lips, giving thanks to his name. But to do good and to communicate, forget not. For with such sacrifices, Elohim is well pleased. Kabur Lakalu, Kabur Ladimtsu, Kabur Lachailu, Kabur Lakedamawi, Chaile Salase, Be Jesus Christos Sim. Glory to word, glory to sound, glory to power, glory to Abinu, Melkenu, our Father, our King, the first power of the Trinity, in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ. Yes, I, Rastafari.
We have fulfilled all. Praise be to Mesken, Xavier Mesken, Jesus Christos, Jesus Christos, Jesus Christos, Jesus Christos.
Let my prayer be set forth before thee as incense, and the lifting up of my hands as the evening sacrifice.
the dark. By faith he believed in the coming judgment. He soon saw the colors of the new covenant. On Adonai, Oceana. ወደ ምድር መጥቶ እኔ ላንተ ላንቺ ሲል በእንጨት ላይ ተሰቅሎልን ኃጢአታችንን ሸክሞልን ሞቶ የተነሳ ኢየሱስ የይሁዳ አንበሳ እናክብር እናንግሰው ሕይወታችን ዛሬ ነው የመዳን ቀናችን። Oh God of Abraham, Isaac and Jacob, in these times your moons are red like blood. I see the signs in the moon and stars above, and on the ground the fires and the floods.
Yes, Shabbat Tov, a good strong 7 right here, first day service right here on the N and the IRID. We have a couple of basic questions, about 14 or so for this 20th sabbatical, so stay tuned, as well as usually the Sabbath before Purim. Purim, you know about Purim, interesting Purim, getting some more of the Purim as we're looking forward, coming up, I think the second and third day of the Shabbat for Purim. Here, the Sabbath before Purim is known as the Shabbat Zakor, to remember the Sabbath of remembrance, never forget. But right here, Sabbath seal psalm right here, that we went through the Torah, Aliyot, the Haftarah, the prophets reading, and the Brit Hadasha, the New Testament reading as well. Right here, 144, Psalm 144, Sabbath seal, and a baraka, a blessing, word, sound, power, invocation for peace, for prosperity, right here in the Sabbath seal Psalm, Psalm 144, here on the dove of the Nazarene. Here, yes, Rastafari, hit it.
144. Blessed be the Lord my strength, which teacheth my hands to war and my fingers to fight. My goodness and my fortress, my high tower and my deliverer, my shield, and he in whom I trust, who subdueth my people under me. Lord, what is man that thou takest knowledge of him, or the son of man that thou makest account of him? Man is like to vanity. His days are as a shadow that passeth away. Bow thy heavens, O Lord, and come down. Touch the mountains, and they shall smoke. Cast forth lightning and scatter them. Shoot out thine arrows and destroy them. Send thine hand from above. Rid me and deliver me out of great waters, from the hand of strange children, whose mouth speaketh vanity, and their right hand is a right hand of falsehood. I will sing a new song unto thee, O God. Upon a psaltery and an instrument of 10 strings will I sing praises unto thee. It is he that giveth salvation unto kings, who delivereth David his servant from the hurtful sword. Rid me and deliver me from the hand of strange children, whose mouth speaketh vanity, and their right hand is a right hand of falsehood, that our sons may be as plants grown up in their youth, that our daughters may be as cornerstones, polished after the similitude of a palace, that our garners may be full, affording all manner of store, that our sheep may bring forth thousands and 10,000s in our streets, that our oxen may be strong to labor, that there be no breaking in nor going out, that there be no complaining in our streets. Happy is that people that is in such a case. Yea, happy is that people whose God is the Lord. Yea.
And also right here, Psalm 67, because it reflects the priestly blessing within the chant right here, as we begin a new Shabua, a new 7, a new strong right here. Shema'ah, Psalm 67.
Psalm 67. God be merciful unto us, and bless us, and cause his face to shine upon us. Selah. Psalm 67. God be merciful unto us, and bless us, and cause his face to shine upon us. Selah. God be merciful unto us, and bless us, and cause his face to shine upon us. Selah. God be merciful unto us, and bless us, and cause his face to shine upon us. Selah. That thy way may be known upon earth, thy saving health among all nations. Let the people praise thee, O God. Let all the people praise thee. O let the nations be glad and sing for joy. For thou shalt judge the people righteously, and govern the nations upon earth. Selah. Let the people praise thee, O God. Let all the people praise thee. Then shall the earth yield her increase, and God, even our own God, shall bless us. God shall bless us, and all the ends of the earth shall fear him, shall fear him, shall fear him, shall fear him. Psalm 67. God be merciful unto us, and bless us, and cause his face to shine upon us. Selah. That thy way may be known upon earth, thy saving help, thy saving help, thy saving help, thy saving help. Psalm 67. God be merciful unto us, and bless us, and cause his face to shine upon us. Selah. That thy way may be known upon earth, thy saving health among all nations. Let the people praise thee, O God. Let all the people praise thee. O let the nations be glad and sing for joy. For thou shalt judge the people righteously, and govern the nations upon earth. Selah. Let the people praise thee, O God. Let all the people praise thee. Then shall the earth yield her increase, and God, even our own God, shall bless us. God shall bless us, and all the ends of the earth shall fear him, shall fear him, shall fear him, shall fear him, shall fear him. God be merciful unto us and bless us. God be merciful unto us and bless us, and cause his face to shine upon us. Selah. God be merciful unto us and bless us, and cause his face to shine upon us. Selah. God be merciful unto us and bless us, and cause his face to shine upon us. Selah.
Yes, Shavua Tov, Melkam Ehud. Blessed, beautifully good first day of the 7 right here. Here we have some basic questions for this Shabbat. Previous Shabbat, the 20th sabbatical study, we have some basic questions, 14 basic questions. So here in the deeper study of HaTorah, like for example, we study the materials, the metals. Particularly interesting is the theme of the menorah, studying light and electromagnetism, the spectrum, in order to fully be able to understand, get a good standing and an understanding, come to overstanding right here, studying the materials, the gems, the jewels, all of that, you know, in real time, real science, real knowledge of these things right here. And then we can see the divine and the higher mind origin of this scripts and the scripts right here, HaTorah. So here, some basic questions here for Shabbat. Tetzaweh. Thou, male, shall command. From Exodus chapter 27, verse 20 to Exodus chapter 30, verse 10. Basic questions, some BQs right here, basic questions. Question number 1. What type of oil? What type of oil, in the Hebrew, shemen, oil. What type of oil or what type of shemen was used to light ha-menorah in the tabernacle? What type of shemen? Here the script says clear, pure oil olive. Or in the Hebrew, it's brought out as shemen zayit zak. Shemen zayit zak. Clear, pure oil olive or olive oil, which came from the first drops. According to the tribe tradition, this idea would come from the first drop that was squeezed from the olive. The rest of the oil, the rest of the drops will be used for other things. So that pure, right, that pure oil, olive or olive oil, clear, pure olive oil. Let's just get the scripts right here. Where's that sword? Give me one moment right here. One drop. Give us a teaching.
Give us the teachings of His Majesty, for we no want no devil philosophy. Feel it in the one drop. You'll find your redemption, and when you give us the teachings of His Majesty, you'll find your redemption, and when you give us the teachings of His Majesty, you'll find your redemption, and when you give us the teachings of His Majesty. Oh, we no want no devil philosophy. I just to give us the teachings of His Majesty. Oh, we no want no devil philosophy. Feel it in the one drop. When you give us the teachings of His Majesty.
Yes, here to Southwest. We want to get the scripts, the hard copy right here. Picking off Exodus chapter 27, chapter 27 to 20th verse, where it says, Wa'ata Tzawa et b'nei Yisrael v'yikhu eleika shemen zayit zak katit la maor leha alote leha alote. Hold on for a moment. Let me get this straightened out right here. I'm reading it on the side right here. Let's come again. Leha elo ha'elot. Ha'elot. Okay, the Hebrew letters are really close right here. Yeah, ha'elot near. There we go. Leha near tami. Ani I le achazor. Repeat. We'ata and the I. We'ata Tzawa and the I male. Ata the pronoun you male. We'ata Tzawa and the I male. Tzawa shall Tzawa command Tzawa. Et b'nei the sons of b'nei Yisrael, the sons of Israel. Yikhu that they take and they take yikhu. Yikhu and they take eleka to the eye, shemen, the oil, zayit, olive, zak, pure. The oil, olive, pure, katit, sense of beaten or like squeeze, katit, la maor. In Hebrew, the word or one of the words for light or in some form, the ma'or. Or is light. Ma'or for illumination or for the light, for the illumination. La ma'or. Le ha'alot. Allah, to go up, to ascend. Near. A near is like a lamp. Tamid, continually. So here it's saying that this shemen, this oil, zayit, olive, zak, pure, katit, beaten or squeezed, la ma'or, for the illumination, le ha'elot, to cause to ascend, to cause to go up, to ascend, le ha'alot, to ascend near a lamp, tamid, continually. Just to bring this out right here, thou shalt command. So the olives were pounded in a mortar, and that the first flow of oil, the first flow of the shemen was of the purest quality. The oil then obtained by grinding the olives in a mill. This was fit for the use with like the meal, the mincha, the meal offerings, lama or, for the light, for the illumination, to keep the lamp in the sanctuary, the menorah, burning every night, to cause a lamp to burn. Liha elot near, to cause a lamp to ascend. In the Hebrew, the direct sense is to go up, to cause to go up a lamp. Liha elot near. The lamp had to be so lit, to keep it lit, that the flame ascended. Some say ascended even like by itself, ascended. Now continually, the tamid is a sense of continually or regularly. So night after night, this had to be done in the evening. The central light, in the Hebrew, the central light, okay, here this might help explain even the Hebrew instruction when we have a good construction, a good idea of the pattern. So we look at the pattern of what's known as the Hebrew snowflake, so to speak, or the Magen David, some say the six-pointed star. We have the 6 points in the triangles when looking at the Star of David, as it's called, would correspond to the 6 lamps. And the center part, right, that's the 7th lamp. And this is what from many of the studies is being brought out here from the Hebrew, La Maor Le Hailot Nir Tami, to cause to light a near, to cause to ascend a near. So that central light, that center, the seventh in the center, as the description of the menorah says, and there'll be 3 branches on this side and 3 on that side. So we look at what's known as the Magen David, the Hebrew snowflake, so to speak, or the 6-pointed star, the Merkaba, as some might refer to that particular geometric shape. We have the 6 points for the 3 branches on this side and the 3 branches on that side. And in the center, we have the center branch, or the center. This is what's being spoken of right here, where it says La Maor Lehailot Nir, to cause a near, a lamp, one of the lamps to ascend. That central light was to burn continually. And from it, the others, the 3 on this side and the 3 on that side, the other 6, were kindled each evening. Even some say that it was that these were to be pointed right towards the center, but as it would burn through the night, the next day there'll be soot and, build up, so it'll be clean. That would be the role of the priest, to clean, right, to clean off all the soot so the light can give a pure, shemen zayit zak. So what type of oil, what type of shemen was used, la ma'or, to light ha menorah in the tabernacle? It was shemen zayit zak that came from the first drop, or the katit, beaten in the sense of squeeze, that was squeezed from the olive, and the rest of the shemen, the oil, was used for other things and other purposes. Question number 2 right here for this Shabbat, this 20th sabbatical study, RSS, Shabbat Tetzaweh. Question number 2. Who were ha-Kohanim? Who were the Kohanim? Who were ha-Kohanim? The priests. Aharon, Aaron, and his descendants, Aaron, right? Or not Aaron, but Aharon, because Aaron is ark, and Aharon is the man Aaron, right? Aharon Ubanav, and his sons, his descendants. Namely, we have Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Itamar. Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Itamar, or Itamar, if you please, but it's actually Itamar. Question 3 here. What are the 3 classes of Yisraeli, of Israelites? What are the 3 classes of the Yisraelim, of Israelites? What are the 3 classes? 1, you have the Kohanim. The Kohanim are the priests. Secondarily, you have the Lewim, the Levites. And then you have thirdly the Yisraelim. Yisraelim, the Israelites. Yisraelim, the Bnei Yisrael, the sons of Israel, the rank and file Israelites. So 3 classes, right, of Israelites, Yisraelim, is the Kohanim, the priests, the Lewim, the Levites. Remember the principle that all the Kohanim are Lewim, but not all the Lewim, the Levites, are Kohanim. Only the sons of Aharon, of Aaron. So the 3 classes, you have the Kohanim, the priests, the Lewim, the Levites, and the Yisraelim, the rank and file Israelites. Only ha-Kohanim are physical descendants of Aharon, assigned the priestly duties according to the narrative here, the direction, instruction in Ha-Torah. It's only the descendants of Aharon who are the Kohanim, and they are assigned the priestly duties of offering the korban, from karab, to draw near. So only they can take the offerings of the Yisraelim, the Israelites, and come near to the holy places, to the Mizbeach, to the Ohel, to the tent, and to offer on behalf of the Israelites. The other descendants of Levi were assigned roles. They had different roles and responsibilities to assist in the maintenance of Ha-Mishkan. Now, sometimes the tabernacle is referred to as the tabernacle. Literally, it's the tent. Sometimes it's known as the Mikdash, the holy place. And from Yahweh Eloheinu's perspective, Jehovah's perspective, it's the Mishkan, place under Shakan, a dwelling place. So the other descendants of Lewi, who were not descendants of Aaron, were assigned roles to assist in the maintenance of the Mishkan, such as carrying various vessels, assembling it when Jehovah, when he moved the camp, and so on. Now, what's interesting is that as we come to the time of Dawid also assigns roles for the Levites, which is very interesting, which continue on into even the Brit Hadasha, the New Testament times as well, where he assigned roles. And one of the roles later on of the Levites were as like singers and players, of instruments as well, musically, keeping it Levitical. Now, Ha-Kohanim, the priests then, are a subset of the tribe of Levi. Thus, like this, while every Levite, right, is an Israelite, a descendant of the patriarch Yisrael, not every Levite, descendant of Levi, is a Kohen. Only the descendants of Aaron are. Question 4. Why were, quote, holy garments, end quote, to be made for Ha-Kohanim? Why were what is called the holy set-apart garments made for Ha-Kohanim? According to Exodus chapter 28, verse 2, it says, for glory and beauty. For glory and beauty. Now here, we're going to go into the Hebrew right here, but just this little audible right here. Wahu Haya, Wahu Hoveh, Wahu Yehyeh, he who was, he who is the one to come right here. Vihu Haya, Vihu Hoveh, Vihu Yehyeh, 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 and that is to say, Wahu is modern Hebrew speech. Vihu Haya, Vihu Hoveh, Vihu Yehyeh Betifera. More of the Afro-Shemitic pointing with and who, and he Haya, and he was. Wahu Haya, and he was. Wahu Hoeh, and he who be, presently, he who be. Wahu, and he Yehyeh, he who will be. This corresponds to like the Yahweh, and Yahweh, right? Bringing out that context of the Hebrew and the inner meanings of the name. He who was, he who is to come. The Tifera, the Hebrew Tafari, Tifera. So here in Exodus chapter 28, verse 2, it says, Virasita Vigdei Kodesh Le'aheron Achika Le Kavod U'ale Tifaret. So here it says, and thou shalt make holy garments for Aaron thy brother with an Asita, speaking to a man, with Asita, and the I make, with Asita, big day, garments of Bigdei Kodesh, modern Hebrew, Vigdei Kodesh, ancient Afro-Shemitic pointing big day Kodesh, garments of Kodesh, of set apartness, le Ahiron, for Aaron, Achika, thy thy brother, le Ahiron, Achika, le Kabod, for gravitas, for glory, Kabod, modern Hebrew, Kavod, le Kabod, and le Tifaret, for glory and beauty, Now, when we look at the Kabbalistic tree of life, the Eitzaha Chaim, we have the Tifera, right, the cipher there. But just to bring this out right here, sometimes it's even translated as for like honor and glory, but it's type of glory that's a beauty. These vestments corresponded for splendor and for beauty, le kavod u le tifaret, right, for splendor and for beauty. These vestments, the bigdei kodesh, the garments of set apartness, these vestments correspond to the royal garments of a king. So when we even see Gormawi, Negus Neges, his Imperial Majesty Kadamawi Haile Selassie, we see him even with those particular robes and how those robes are cut. You know, they are reminiscent of the bigdei kodesh, the garments of set apartness, or the holy garments, likabod u litifaret, for splendor and beauty. So these vestments correspond to the royal garments of a melech, of a negus, even negus and neges, and these garments raise the wearer above the rest of Amo, above the rest of the people, Amo Yisrael, in dignity. Garments that gave to Aharon the beauty and dignity by which he was distinguished. He stood out. He was distinguished from the rest of his brethren. The garments were for the honor of Hailehim, of the Almighty, and for the Kohen Gadol, the big priest, the high priest's glory. So they were for kabod, for that honor, tiferet, tefara, and for glory, to inspire Amo, the people, with that awe. So the garments are also a key study and a theme right here. So why were holy garments to be made for Ha-Kohanim? Exodus 28:2, for glory, likavod, ulatiferet, and for beauty. Question 5. What special clothes did the Kohen Gadol, did the big priest, the high priest, Kohen Gadol, did he wear? One, we have the ephod, the ephod or ephod, the ephod. What is the ephod? The ephod is an apron-like garment that's tied in the front. Secondarily, we have the choshen. The choshen, what is the choshen? The choshen is a breastplate that contains 12 precious stones and gems inscribed with the names, or the Shemot. In the Hebrew, Exodus is known as the Sefer Shemot, the cipher of the names, the book of the names, with the names of the 12 tribes of Yisrael, and a ma'il, a robe of blue wool with golden bells and decorative pomegranates on its hem. And the seats. What is the seats? The seats is a golden headband bearing the inscription, Kodesh LaYahuwah, holiness or holy, set apart to he who he be. Question 6 here for Shabbat Tetzaveh, thou shalt command. Question 6. What was in the Kohanim, the priests' clothing, which ordinarily may not be worn. Again, what was in Ha-Kohanim, the priest clothing, the Hebrew, the Israelite priest clothing that ordinarily may not be worn? We have the Sha'atnez, the Sha'atnez. What is Sha'atnez? Sha'atnez. It's a fabric made of wool mixed with linen. Sha'atnez, a fabric made of wool mixed with linen. Sha'atnez is prohibited in Leviticus 19:19 and in Deuteronomy 22:11. Again, sha'atnez, a fabric that's mixed, a mixed fabric of wool and linen, is prohibited in Leviticus 19:19 and Deuteronomy 22:1. The kutonet. What is the kutonet? The kutonet is a tunic or like an inner shirt. Kutonet, an inner shirt or a tunic of Ha-Kohanim, contain sha'atnez. It contains that mixture of wool and linen. Wool and linen. Right here. Yes, get ready. We have about a little more than an hour or so, but hopefully we can share some of the Purim reasoning, get through these basic questions.
והוא היה, והוא הווה, והוא יהיה בתפארה. והוא היה, והוא הווה, והוא יהיה בתפארה. והוא היה, והוא הווה, והוא יהיה בתפארה. והוא היה, והוא הווה, והוא יהיה בתפארה.
He who was, he who be, he who will be in glory. The Tifara. Yes, right. So here, question 7. How were Ha-Kohanim consecrated for their service, their avodah, modern Hebrew avodah, ancient pointing aboda is the service, right? Aboda, right? How were Ha-Kohanim, the priests, consecrated for their aboda, for their service? Well, they washed, dressed in the holy garments, the Bigdei Kodesh, and they were mashach. They were anointed with the shemen, with the oil on their forehead. So how were Ha-Kohanim consecrated for their service, their aboda? They wash, they bathe, they dress in holy garments, and were anointed with oil on their foreheads. Question 8 right here. What is the name of the daily sacrifice, and what was required? What was the name of the daily sacrifice, and what was required? The name of the daily sacrifice was known as the Korban Tamid. Remember the word Tamid, continually, where it says La Maor Le Ha'elot Ner Tamid, for a lamp, right, to light, for a lamp to light, to ascend continually. So the Tamid, always or continually, the Korban. Korban is an offering. You find in the New Testament under Corban. It's like the drink, Korban. Corban. That's another thing there, the drink. But just the same word. It comes from the same root idea, like of something brought near, sense is like an offering. So the Korban Tamid, the continual offering, which was the sacrifice of a yearling lamb every morning and afternoon upon Ha-Mizbeach, upon the altar. In addition to that, Plus that, a bread and wine offering were required. So that key, you could say communion, meal, the bread and the wine, in addition to the sacrifice of a yearling lamb every morning and afternoon upon the altar, there was additional bread and wine offering that was required according to Exodus 29, verses 38 to 20. Exodus 29, verses 38 to 42. Exodus 29, verses 38 to 42. So we have the lamb, the bread, and the wine were required daily. The lamb, the bread, and the wine required daily. Here, question number 9 for this 20th sabbatical study, Rastafari sabbatical study for the Shabbat Strong, Titsawe. Here, the 9th question. How often was incense or aishans? How often was aishans to be burned upon HaMizbeach, the altar, in the holy place, in the Kodesh? How often was aishans, incense, to be burned? Twice each day, 2 times a day, twice each day in the morning and evening. And this is during the time of Ha-menorah, the time when the menorah was tended to, when she was serviced, when she was tended to, Ha-menorah. So aishans was burned twice each day, in the shacharit, the morning, and in the erev, in the evening, during the time, the hour when the menorah was tended and was serviced. Question number 10, right here, Shabbat Titzawe. 10th question. Later in HaTorah, 2 of Aharon's sons were killed by Elohim, by the Elohim, for taking, quote, strange fire, end quote, into the sanctuary, the Mishkan. Which sons were not killed? The sons who were not killed were Eleazar, and Itamar. Question 11 right here. What was attached to the hem of the robe of the Kohen Gadol, of the high priest, Alika Kahanat? And what was its purpose? The golden bells to make a sound when he goes in and out of the Kodesh, of the holy place, Lifnei Yahweh, before the presence of he who be, that he die not. The script says that he die not. The bells were also a warning to Ha'am, to Amo Yisrael, to the people of Israel, that the Kohen Gadol, the high priest, the big priest, was performing his duties. Question 12. What was engraved? What was engraved on the golden plate? The golden plate, the head plate, the seats. What was engraved and attached to the Kohen Gadol, to his turban? Holiness to the Lord, or in the Hebrew, Kodesh LaYahweh. Kodesh LaYahweh. It was called seats, because a cord of tikelet is blue, tikelet. It was called seats because a cord of tikelet held it in place. So this was like the forehead mitre, this golden plate that had inscribed Kodesh LaYahweh, holiness or set apart to he who be who he be. Question number 13, Chabarim. The breastplate, known in Hebrew as the Choshen. The Choshen, the breastplate, is called the breastplate of what? It's called the breastplate of judgment, or the Choshen HaMishpat. The Choshen HaMishpat, the breastplate of judgment. The priest, the Kohen, would represent the judgment of the people over his heart. So the idea here is that the breastplate, the Choshen, better known as the Choshen HaMishpat, the breastplate of judgment, the priest would wear this because the priest would represent the judgment of the people over his heart to come. Question 14, Chabarim. What was done with Hadam, the blood? What was done with the blood of the ram, of the ram of ordination? Hadam, the blood, was placed on the right earlobe, the right thumb, and the big toe of the right foot of Ha-Kohanim, of the priest. So here, some basic questions, hopefully we have time to build on some of these basic questions, but basic questions for Tetzaweh. Yes, I, Rastafari.
Vihu haya, vihu hove, vihu yiye, vihu haya, vihu hove, vihu yiye, vihu haya, vihu hove, vihu yiye, vihu haya, vihu hove, vihu yiye,
Come, make I and I reason right here.
The teaching of His Majesty, for we no want no devil philosophy, feel it in the one drop.
So some discussion topics right here. I have about 12. We're going to go through a few of them. Give some time right here on the outro for the Shabbat Zakor, before the Purim, before the time of Purim, right? And Purim is a sign that Pesach, Fasika, is coming forward. I think two weeks, no more than a month, yeah. But right here, Tetzaweh. Come, make a reason. Some discussion topics from this 20th sabbatical study for this Shabbat Strong. First item of discussion, this topic, the commandment. The commandment to keep the lamp of the menorah, the lampstand, falsely, let's just note this right here, often is falsely called candlestick in translation. It's amazing the cognitive dissonance that in these times of the Gentiles we've gotten used to. We're reading about something that requires oil, but we're calling it like the candlesticks. It's a lampstand. It's a lampstand. Just to bring that out right there. Yes, Rastafari right here for the first day service right here. So the commandment to keep the lamp of the menorah, the lampstand, burning at all times is called Ner Tamid. Ner. Put an accent on it. Ner Tamid. Without an accent. Ner Tamid. The Ner lamp, Tamid, the continual lamp. Or an eternal lamp, sometimes interpreted as an eternal lamp. Now, in many gathering places, the Hebrew, Judaic churches, or the synagogues, the gatherings today, a ritual light is called the Ner Tamid. It is set above the Aron. It is set above the Ark. So this is also a very interesting connection with the royal order of the Ethiopian Hebrews. Beta Israel of Ethiopia and the connection with Ethiopia there because of the Ark and the significance of the Ark. This study here will bring out why the Ark, is very significant, to even the children of the Ethiopians. Are ye not as the children of the Ethiopians unto me, O children of Yisrael? It's because of these principles that come out of the practice of Torah, right? So in many of the Hebrew Judaic churches, synagogues are gathering together today, a ritual light called the Ner Tamid is set above Ha-Aron, the ark, where the scrolls are stored. So in most of the Judaic gathering places, churches are called synagogues, Knesset in the Hebrew, or the Kehillah. Kehillah, that's a term that's used. Actually, the same term for church is what's used of the tabernacle in the wilderness in the Hebrew, right? Just to get it out of these Gentile terms. But the Aron in the Mikorab, the synagogue, the Moed, is where the scrolls are stored, right? Where the scrolls, the Torah scrolls and the other scrolls are stored to symbolize the presence, the face, the perception of Elohim, of the Elohim. So let's discuss the idea. There's an idea. They will put it as every Jew must light the Ner Tamid in his or her own heart. Right? We will say that every Israelite, every Israeli, every Israelite must light the Ner Tamid in his or her own heart. So let's discuss the idea of each of I and I must light that Ner Tamid, that continual, that always light, that always lamp in I and I hearts. Come, make we reason. Let's discuss discussion topic number 2. In most of the Moed in the Psalms, don't remember the number of the Psalm right now, but there is in the Old Testament about the synagogues, they burned the synagogues of the land. And the word for synagogue there that's translated from the Hebrew is Moed. The tabernacle is known as the Ohel Moed, the tent of the meeting, the tent of the congregation. So in most of the Moedim, the synagogues, it is customary to, quote, dress, end quote, Ha-Torah. So among the Yehudim, it is often customary to dress the Torah scroll, to dress the scroll of Ha-Torah in a manner that is very much similar to that of the garments of the Kohen Gadol, of the high priest, of the Ohel Moed, of the tent of meeting or the tabernacle. There is a Torah crown. There's a crown on Ha-Torah. There's a Torah crown. There is a pomegranate robe. There is a breastplate. There is a yad. Yad in Hebrew is finger, or it's actually yad in Hebrew like the hand. But in this sense, the yad is like a pointer, like a Torah scroll pointer that has like a finger at the point. A yad, a pointer, and was that terefa, etc., etc. These are common Torah ornaments. So in most of the synagogues, it's customary to dress the Ha-Torah, the Torah scroll, in a manner similar to that of the garments of the high priest of the tabernacle, namely for Torah crown, a pomegranate robe, a breastplate, a yad, a pointer, etc. These are common Torah ornaments. Now, in what ways do you think that Ha-Torah, that the Torah, the direction, instructions, has replaced the idea of the priest, of Ha-Kohen in Yehudi and Jewish and Judaic thinking, right? In what ways do you think that, to say the Torah, let's just expand it because we have Torah even in the New Covenant, right? The Bible, the scriptures, has replaced the idea of the priest in Yehudi thinking. Come, make we reason. Make a reason. There's a couple more right here before we ride up with the Purim, pre-Purim reasoning. The high priest, the Kohen Gadol's Hoshen, breastplate. It contained a pouch holding 2 special gemstones called the Urim Utumim. Urim Utumim or Urim Vitumim. The Urim and the Tumim. Usually, the Urim and the Tumim is usually translated as lights and perfections. Lights and perfections. the Urim and Thummim. Now, according to the Targum Yonatan, right, when a matter was brought to the Kohen Gadol, the high priest, for settlement, he would sometimes hold the Urim before Ha-menorah, before the lampstand, and Ha-Shekinah, the Shekinah, which is thought to be like the divine presence of He who be, would irradiate various letters that were inscribed on Ha-Hoshen, on the breastplate, to reveal the will of Ha-Elohim, of the Elohim. Do you think this is a form of divinely sanctioned divination? The question is, do you think this is a form of divinely sanctioned divination, Hebraic divination? Why, right? Or why not? Lama, velo lama, like why or why not? Come, make we reason. According to Hadashim, slicker, Hasidim. The Hasidim, Chesed is the word for mercy. One of the attributes of He who be, He be the merciful one. Chesed, often translated as loving kindness. But then one who is a Hasid is like a pious one, or one who has received like undeserved merit or favor. So according to the Hasidim, the tabernacle is a metaphor for attaining personal inner sanctity. So according to the Hasidim, the tabernacle is a metaphor or an allegory, so to speak, for attaining personal and inner sanctity in the innermost of the innocence. The detailed building instructions point to the soul, the nefesh, the psyche, the soul building project. The Ner Tamid, the continual lamp, points to the need for the soul's illumination, for the nefesh, for the psyche, the soul's, for her illumination, for her enlightenment. The garments of the Kohen Gadol, the high priest, the big priest, point to particular areas where we need to exercise sanctity or set apartness. For example, the turban represents the calling for right thinking. Shifting the metaphor, when we shift the metaphor or the allegory, Aaron, the ark, the tabot, it represents the brain. The cherubim, the kepraim, the cherubim represent Ha-Elohim, the Elohim's still small voice. Thank you. The menorah, Ha-menorah, represents the eyes. The menorah represents the eyes, the lampstand. The table, the shulchan, represents the mouth. The table, the shewbread, representing the mouth. The altar, Ha-mizbeach, of Ishens, of incense, represents the nose, the altar of Ishens, the golden altar, the one that's inside the tent. The laver, right, at the gates, right, represents at the opening, before the opening of the tent. The laver, or the wash basin, represents the hands. The mizbeach, or the other altar, the copper, the brazen altar in the outer court, represents the stomach. Come, may we reason. Let's reason and let's discuss the merit of this analogy. What is the merit of this analogy, this allegory, this metaphor? So according to Aina as a Hasidim, even the Rastafari Hasidim, the tabernacle is a metaphor, an allegory, a word picture, an object lesson according to the Tabnik, the pattern for attaining personal inner sanctity or personal inner set apartness. Here, let's go forward. Topic of discussion number 5, olives, zayit. Zaitim. They were intended to be katit lamaor, to be squeezed or beaten, right, for illumination. Katit lamaor. Now, the Yisrael, the Beta Israel people, are compared to an olive tree. The Bayit Yisrael, the house of Israel, the Beta Israel, I and I at home and abroad, are compared to an olive tree because they and we yield their oil, the shemen here representing, right, virtue, only when crushed, only when beaten, only when squeezed, only when, as we say, what? Pressed, right? Only when crushed, only when pressed. So come, let's discuss, make I and I reason on how affliction can be a means, a way and a means of yielding, of giving, of yielding a testimony, a witness for the light, for the illumination of your life, of your liberty. Come, make I and I reason. The sixth topic of discussion from the 20th sabbatical study for the Shabbat Strong, Shabbat Ttzaweh, Senbet is a Zacho. Sabbath command them. Hailahim, Exia, the sustainer, the Elohim spent a lot of time, don't you think, discussing the garments of the priests, of Ha-Kohanim. The garments were intended for likavod u letiferet, for glory, kabod, and for tiferet, for tafara, tiferet, for beauty, and to the wise in heart, heartically wise, for sanctity or for set apartness, as we have in Exodus chapter 28, verses 2 to 3. Verses 2 to 3. So we touched on verse 2 here from Exodus chapter 28. Let's get to 2 and 3 just to bring out this idea. Verse 2, chapter 28, Exodus 28, Hebraically. Ve'asita bigdeya kodesha lahirona achika likabod uletiferet. Ve'ata תדבר אל כל חכמי לב אשר מילאתיו רוח חכמה ועשו את בגדי אהרון לקדשו לכהנו לי. So here these two verses, verse 2, and thou shalt make holy garments, bigdei kodesh, set apart garments for Aharon Achika, thy brother, likabod ulitiferet, for splendor and beauty. Verse 3, Ve'ata, and the I male, and you, the I male, speaking to the male, Ve'ata, Ve'ata, Tadabir, the I shall dabir, shall speak. Wa'ata tadabir illa kol hakmei leib. Thou shalt speak to call all hakmei, wise of hakmei, wise of leib, wise of heart, hakmei leib. Wa'ata tadabir illa kol hakmei leib. Asher mi'eletio ruach hakma, whom I have filled, Asher, that which who mi'eletio, Asher mi'eletio, who I have filled, mi'eletio, ruach, the spirit, the iris, Hakma, who are filled with the Ruach Hakma, the spirit of wisdom, the spirit of wiseness. With Asua Eta Bigdei Aharon, And they shall make Aaron's garments with asu, and they to make etta bigday, the garments of Aharon, of Aaron, lik adisho, to sanctify him, or to bring out the Hebrew sense of lik adisho, to kadisho, to set him apart, lik adisho, li kahno li, li kahno, that he may. Now get this here. We have the word for priest is kahin, right, or kohen in the Hebrew, Ethiopic kahin, right. Here we have li kahno, li, that he may kahino for me, that he may priest for me, right? Li kahino li, that he may priest for me, or as the King James and other versions in English says, that he may minister to me in the priest's office. So for these two words, they have that he may minister to me in the priest's office. In the Hebrew, we have li kahino, right? That he may kahino, serve as priest, li, for me. So here, it speaks about the wise, right? So for topic of discussion, right? Topic of discussion number 6 here for Ttzaweh, we find that Hashem, that Elohim, that the Elohim spent a lot of time discussing the garments of the priests. The garments were intended for kabod uletiferet, for glory and beauty, and to the hakmei leib, to the wise of heart, heartically wise, lik adisho, for setting apart, according to Exodus chapter 28, verses 2-3. So the question, the reasoning here, how important is appearance in your life, in your liberty? How important is appearance in your life and in your liberty? Topic of discussion number 6 regarding the garments and how much time Josh spent on that for glory and beauty. Wise of heart, we know that's for setting apart. Take the example we gave earlier of the garments, the coronation garments of His Majesty, and the connection with the garments of the priests, right? As it says, for splendor and beauty. These vestments correspond to the royal garments of a melech, of a king, a negus, even a negus and a guest, and it raises the wearer above the rest of Amo, of the people, in dignity. Garments that gave to Aharon beauty and dignity, and by which he was distinguished from the rest of his brethren. The garments were for the honor, likavod of Elohim, and for the Kohen Gadol, for the high priestess, Tafara, right, his glory, to inspire Ha'am, Amo Yisrael, the people of Israel, with awe, with reverence. Topic of discussion number 7, right here. The role of Ha-Kohen, Hebraic for priest, the Kohen, Le Kahino Li Kohen. The role of the priest was to bring the people closer to Elohim, to the Elohim. The word korban or korban, the word korban, that's often interpreted as sacrifice, but more Hebraically in the Afro-Shemitic sense from Arab, to draw near, to bring near, like an offering brought near. The word korban, offering brought near, or commonly called sacrifice, means being brought near, karob. Aaron wore the breastplate of judgment, the Hoshen HaMishpat, over his heart, heartically, in Exodus chapter 28, verse 30, as a token, as a sign of the weight, right? The weight, the kabod, the heaviness, the gravity, the weight of Amo, of the people's sufferation, their suffering. His role the high priest, the first we have in the scripture, the first Moshiach, the first anointed according to the scriptures, right? His role was to represent the heart of Amo, the heart of the people, Lifnei Elohim, before the Elohim. So the reason here, how do you understand, how do you overstand? What's your standing of Robenu Yeshua, Adonenu Yeshua, HaNotri, Jesus of Nazareth, as your Kohen, your Kahin, your priest, Kohen Gadol, Lifnei Ha'ab, before the Father, before Elohim Ha'ab, before Abinu Sheba Shemayim, before our Father who art in Shemayim. Topic of discussion number 8 right here. Gonna go right through right here. Topic of discussion number 8 right here. The light, the illumination of Ha-Menorah, of the lampstand. Just as the Aron HaBrit, just as the Aron, the Ark HaBrit, the covenant, the Ark of the Covenant itself was hidden. Mistatir. These things I'm saying mystery, right? In the Greek. No, they got that from the Hebrew. Mistatir come from satar. That means to hide. Mistatir, something that is hidden. Mistatir was hidden from view. No Goyim, no Gentiles would ever see it. Nor would most of the Yisraelim, the Bnei Yisrael, nor would most of the Israelites who were not Levim, who were not Levites. So the Levites, no doubt, they would get to see it if they were serving. And of course, the priests, the Kohanim, right? But most of the Yisraelim, most of the Israelites, the Bnei Yisrael, the sons of Israel, would not see it. And no Goyim, no Goy, no Gentile, none of another nation would see it. Now let's discuss how the divine light, the divine or, right, the divine illumination, right, transcends the physical or the pi and the phi cycle realm, and how things done in, quote, secret, right, may be, quote, seen, sight, as effects, and even as affects, as both effects and affects in the external, in the outer world. So let's discuss that right there, how the divine light, the divine illumination transcends, is both within and without, right? But it transcends. It's basically to say it's transcendental, right? To the phi cycle, to what's called the so-called physical, right? The physical world. And how the things that are done in secret may be seen as effects, not seen directly, right? But almost as to say like a byproduct or as an effect or a affect in the external world, in the outer world. Come, make and I reason. Some good items of reason and discussion, hopefully ones will take one or two, hopefully something that sparks one's interest here. Topic number 9. Why was Aaron chosen to be Kohen Gadol, to be the big priest of Yisrael, of Israel, and not Moshe, and not Moses? Was it because Moshe forfeited the right during the encounter, during that close encounter with with the Elohim at the burning bush? in Exodus chapter 4, verses 14 to 16. Exodus chapter 4, verses 14 to 16. Moses forfeiting the right during the close encounter with the Elohim at the burning bush. Exodus chapter 4, verses 14 to verse 16. But how do we make sense? What's the targum? How do we interpret and make sense of application? How do we make sense of the statement in Psalm 99, verse 6? Psalm 99, verse 6, where it reads, Moshe ve'Aharon, Moses and Aaron were among his priests. Shemuel, Samuel also was among those who called upon Shemo. They called upon his name. They called upon the Hashem. Who Haya, who Haweh, who Yihye, B'Tiferah. They called to Yahweh, to he who be, HaKadosh, Baruch Hu, Baruch Hashem, the Holy One, blessed be he, blessed be the name, prospered, increased be the name, and he answered them. So how do we reconcile this? How do we make sense of the statement in Psalm 99, verse 6, that Moses and Aaron, Moshe with Aharon, were among his priests? Moreover, how did Moshe understand, comprehend, understand the laws, the Torot, the direction, instruction, the Torot, the laws of sacrifice? How did he understand the laws of sacrifice before the Chazon, the vision, the revelation at Har Sinai, at Mount Sinai? And in what ways did Moses function as Yisrael's first? In what ways did Moses serve and function as Israel's first Kohen Gadol? Kohen priest Gadol, big priest, high priest. And how does that prefigure? How's that a shadow, as it were, prefiguring Robenu, Adonenu, prefiguring Yeshua Ha-Notri, Jesus of Nazareth? Here, come. Just got like 3 more right here, topics of discussion. Hopefully we'll have the time to zoom in on 1 or 2 of these with the Chabarim, the brethren. Number 10, topic of discussion, Tetzaweh, thou shalt command. The Aron HaBrit, the Tabot, the Ark of the Covenant, is likened to the Kisei HaKavod. What is the Kisei HaKavod or the Kisei HaKabod? The Kisei HaKabod is the throne of glory. The Kisei HaKavod, Kisei HaKabod, the throne of glory. Kisei, throne of the Kabod, ancient Afro-Shemitic pointing, modern Hebrew, Kavod. Kisei HaKabod, the throne of Kabod, the throne of glory, of gravity, of gravitas, the throne of weight, of seriousness, but brought out often in the translation as honor, glory. The ark, He'aron, itself was composed of 3 separate, or should I say it as the ark herself. The ark itself, herself, was composed of 3 separate and overlapping boxes. The ark basically also brings out he who was, he who be, he who will be, the Hebrew Trinity, that the ark, right, itself or herself was composed of 3 separate and overlapping boxes, a 3-in-1 construction. There was a wooden box covered by a gold box with another gold box inside. So there's a wooden box, there's a gold box on the outside, and there's a gold box on the inside. The outermost box also had a border or a diadem called a zir, nizir. Sometimes we have the nizir, a crown, right? Nizir, nazar, but here we have the zir. a diadem or crown. So the ark has a crown. So when we sometimes say Ak, or we use that term in English as an acronym, fornication, forfeiture under the crown of the king, because of what's in the ark, you know, the tablets of the covenant. But the outermost box had a border or a diadem, a crown called a zir, that would hold the cover or the kaporet in place, according to Exodus chapter 25, verse 11. Moreover, the tent of the tabernacle was composed of three parts. The tent of the tabernacle was composed of three parts. What are the three parts? Well, we have the Holy of Holies, the Kodesh HaKodashim, the Holy of the Holy Ones, the Kodesh HaKodashim, and two divisions, right? There were two divisions within the holy place. Despite the various articles of the tabernacle, it is called one, or in the Hebrew, echad, like we say, ahadu, echad, right? Yahuwah, echad, right? Ahadu, amlak, right? Echad, one. So let's discuss right here how the pattern that Yahuwah emphasizes. He says, see that you do all things according to the pattern. Therefore, it's very important for us to have pattern recognition, right? To recognize the pattern, right? Both the outer type and the inner type. So let's discuss the pattern, the tabnit of the tabernacle. Discuss how the tabnit of the tabernacle reveals the nature or the nature of Hailahim, of the Elohim, Chabarim. Here, come, make a reason. Topic 11. According to Malbim, one of the ancient reasonments codified as a point of reference in reasonments, menorah, the lampstand, is said to reveal the light, the illumination of Ha-Torah, the illumination of the directions, the instructions. These are sometimes called the 49 gates, or referred to as the 49 gates to Torah, the 49 gates to Ha-Torah, the 49 gates to the direction instruction. It's based on the sevens principle. 7 times 7, you know, that 49 principle, 49 gates to Torah. The 7 branches represent the 7 words of Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. What are the 7, right? What, you know, the 7, Hebraically speaking, not in the English, right? But we're talking about from the Hebrew, right? Bereshit bara Elohim et ha-shemayim wa et ha-aret. Bereshit, in Reshit, in the female head or the female beginning, speaking of Chokmah, wisdom is she. Yes, the Hakmei Leib. Bereshit, in beginning, bara. He created, he, singularity, created Elohim, the powers. He, the powers in singularity, in Reshith, in wisdom, created 8 Alpha, Tav, Ha-Shemayim, the heavens were 8 Aleph, Tav, Ha'aret. So we have 7 words here. Bereshith, bara, Elohim, et Hashemayim, ve'et ha'aret. So we have right here the 7 branches representing the 7 words of Bereshith, of in beginning. In beginning. Some say in the beginning, but really it's in wisdom, right? Or in beginning. And the 11 fruits, there are 11 fruits on Ha menorah, on Ha. on the lampstand. The 11 fruits represent the 11 words of Exodus 1 and 1, right? Exodus 1 and 1. Let's go here. What are the 11 words, right, of Exodus chapter 1, verse 1? Here we go right here. It says, Ve'ele shemot b'nei Yisrael ha-bayim mitzrayma eta Yaakov ish u beito ba'u. Now these are the names of the sons of Yisrael, of Israel. Ve'ele, and these, Shemot, the names, B'nai, sons of Yisrael, of Israel, who came into Egypt with Jacob, with Yaakov, Ha-Bayim, the comers, Ha-Bayim, Mitzrayma, to the Tawi, the two lands, Mitzrayma, ate Yaakov with Jacob, right? Ish, man, every man came with his household. Ish u beito, and his beito and his house, ba'u, they came. Let's get the next one right here, just up ahead, still going through this, but just seeking to check the reasonment with the script. So we have the 7 words of Genesis 1 and 1, right? The 7 branches, the 11 fruits, the 11 words of Exodus 1 and 1. The 9 flowers. The 9 flowers represent the 9 words of Leviticus, right? Of Leviticus 1 and 1. What's Leviticus 1 and 1? What are the 9 words? Leviticus 1 and 1. It says, Vayikra il Moshe, Vaydaber Yahuwah Elai, May Ohel Moed Lemor. And Yahweh called to Moses, Moshe, and spoke to him out of the tent of meeting, saying, Vayikra illa Moshe, Vaydaber Yahweh Elayo, May Ohel Moed Lemor. And then we have the 22 cups. So here we're bringing out the menorah, right, and the reasonments, right, on the different aspects of the menorah, namely the branches, the fruit, right, the flowers. So then we have the 22 cups. There's 22 cups. 22 cups represent the 22 words of the Barim of Deuteronomy 1 and 1 in the Hebrew. The 22 words. What are the 22 words? 22 words. Eile ha-debarim, Asher, Diber, Moshe, Il, call, Yisrael, Be'eber, ha-yarden, ba-midbar, ba-araba, mol, suf, bain, paran, u-bain, tofel, we-lavan, wayachatzerot, we-di-zahav. These are the words that Moshe spoke to all Israel beyond the Yarden, beyond the Jordan. Eileha debarim asher diber Moshe illa kol Yisrael. In the wilderness, right? In the, beyond Jordan, be'eber hayarden. Be'eber hayarden, beyond the Yarden, Jordan. In the wilderness, ba'midbar. In the Arabah, ba'arabah. Over against Suf, Mol Suf. Between Paran, Bain Paran, and Tofel, Ubain Tophel, and Laban, with Laban, and Hazerot, Wayahatzerot, and D Zahab, with D Zahab. And Zahab is gold, right? So the 22 words of Deuteronomy brings out the 22 cups. So we have here, according to the Malbim, ancient reasoning here on this Torah, the menorah is said to reveal the light of HaTorah. This is sometimes called the 49 gates to Torah. The 7 branches represent the 7 words of Genesis 1 and 1 in Hebrew. The 11 fruits represent the 11 words of Exodus 1 and 1 in Hebrew. The 9 flowers represent the 9 words of Leviticus 1 and 1. And the 22 cups represent the 22 words of Deuteronomy 1 and 1. So, what about the book of Numbers? The 17 words of Numbers 1 and 1 refer to the 17 tefachim, the tefachim, hand breaths, the hand breaths, the 17 hand breaths of menorah's height, of the menorah's height. Discuss, make a reason on the symbolism, the allegorical, metaphorical symbolism of menorah, especially in light of Yeshua HaNotzi, Justice of Nazareth's words, I am, Anihu, I am the light, the Or HaOlamim, the light of the world. Here, final topic of discussion, the 12th right here, the Korban Tamid, the offering, continual offering, was the sacrifice of a lamb, a seh, every morning and afternoon upon the copper altar at the tabernacle. Along with it, a bread and a wine offering were required. Thereby, we have a prefiguring, a shadow of the Seh Ha-Elohim, Seh Ha-Elohim, the Lamb of the Elohim, and his sacrifice for I and I, right? According to Exodus chapter 29, verses 38 to 42. When Ha-Kohanim, the priest, was consecrated, filled for the service, Abodah, the dam, the blood of the ram of ordination, was placed on his right earlobe, right thumb, and big toe of the right foot, according to Exodus 29, verses 19 to 20. Likewise, we are called in the Brit Chadasha, the renewed, the new covenant, we are called to present our bodies as a living sacrifice, or as a Korban Chai. Korban, a sacrifice, an offering, a bringing near. Korban Chai, Chai, life, living. Korban Chai, a living sacrifice in our own aboda, our own service, la Yahuwah, to he who he be, to HaKadosh, Baruch Hu, Baruch Hashem. We have the Epistle to the Romans. We have Rabbi Shaul, the Apostle to Gentiles, our brother Paulos, bringing it out in Romans chapter 12, verses 1 to 2. So, in what ways do you make a daily sacrifice or a daily offering to Yahuwah, to Jehovah, to he who he be, to the Almighty, in your life and in your liberty? Here. Chabarim, right here. Didn't have the time to get into the Purim, but hopefully we'll maybe share that on Jah willing, I and I live, breath of life. Give thanks and praise to the Almighty for the breath of life on the Monday, the second day podcast. But thought it was necessary right here to just expand, on what just seems to be like technical things in the Torah, but to really begin to see it from Yahweh, begin to see it from Yahweh, truth and life. Yes, I. So here on the outro, may Yahuwah bless the eye, keep the eye, and I cause his face, his grace to shine on I, and give I, Yeshua Shalom, victory, peace, victory, payment, victory, overcoming. Yes, I. Shalom, Rastafari. Here on the outro, right here. Jah is my light classic here, Leroy Smart. Yes, I, Rastafari. Shabbat Tov.
Oh, Jah, oh, Jah. Jah is my light and my salvation. Give I power to fight against the wicked one. Don't let the wicked go. Jah is my life and my salvation. Whom shall I be afraid? Who shall I be afraid of? Oh Jah, oh Jah, Jah is mighty, he's strong. Yeah, oh yeah. Let the enemies be scattered. Let them go away. Jah is gonna come again. He shall return on that day. It won't be easy. It won't be nice. Jah is not alive. Oh, Jah is my life. Obey my brother, obey. What you do is know you better obey. Give the wicked one a lashing, oh God. Let them stand up upright and let them not to fight. No, that is not right. No, that is not right. Oh yeah, oh God. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Jah is my life and my salvation. Whom shall I be afraid? Whom shall I be afraid of? I shall not run away. I shall not go astray. 'Cause God teach me the way. 'Cause God teach me the way. Give me my brother. Give me my star.
Jah, Rastafari. Every knee must bow and every tongue confess. Because in these last days, sharpness of the shall not rest. Jah plants his footsteps upon the waters when he winds up in the flood. Too much war and too much blood. Jah Rastafari lives in my eyes to the water. So when the wicked come up and I think my flesh, they stumble and fall. The notion and camp against time, Babylon, the time and shall be come to pay. From like a lamb to his plant and like a sheep to shear his tongue. Shasson. Lord God, your Rastafari, and merciful unto I and I in this day, his sons begotten. Lord God, your Rastafari, make mention to Abraham to Babylon. And he said, blessed be the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the ways of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful, while I delight in the laws of the Lord God Most High, Jah Rastafari. For when it's true, last one with the things they have inspired. Therefore I must be like a tree that stands by the rivers of water, That sandstone can be removed by no worm or no germ, by no germ. Jah Almighty, but take in the time. For Jah said you cast your lot of thunder, so the wicked shall be shaken like and thunder. The words of thy mouth and the meditation of thy heart be accepted in thy sight, O God. Clean hands to the pure, we know, children of the so we start to Satadona. Yato, Mr. Donde. Oh, yato, this yato, Mr. Donde. Stay, this yato, Cotagona. Wandada. Isla, ya beard, Maskan. Wadada means love. So make me yato gona. So make me yato gona. So make me yato down the Sunday. So make me yato on the Monday. So think you're Tony, so we yato on the Tuesday. Yato gona. For the wisdom of man was handed down by God. A table of stone. And the utterance of man art, and man concept and man morality, black man must learn to live with love and equality. Because in this time, which is the last time, greed and prejudice, grudge and unhumbleness in the sight of the Most High. Who will see upon mankind? Salvation and victimization. Beat down oppression and conquer love and affection. So don't make me yato gona. So make me yato gona. Different different sound to be the passion. But we can get no passion. They kill and plunder the fruits of the earth and leave even the humble to eat dirt. But just people who want to be good pass away, ever lose must pass away these days. So black man can't you laugh the sun down. Can't be this strong by no lightning and no thunder. No Santa. So we don't Santa. Or shoot to Santa. Rastafari. Allah have a higher than I am so mighty and show the universe. So glad I'm in the sky.
Shibuto, yes I.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.